While a few more people join, awesome, let's pull up the week in review and take a look what is ahead. All right, so today we have our meeting, and then Bold starts today. We'll talk more about that. So Chantel's class that was previously scheduled for 11 a.m. today is canceled. And then tomorrow, Tanya has her command class. You want to talk about that?
Yeah, I'm gonna teach you guys how to add a Cloud CMA report page to your website.
Awesome. So make sure to go to that if you can, and she will help you with that. Otherwise, it will be recorded in our YouTube channel. And then we have our 12 o'clock Wednesday CE class on RPR, which is something that we all get for free with RMLS. So if you haven't dug into that or you're not using that, that would be a great CE class to try out. All right, Austin, let's go to Bold. Oh, nope, Freely Summer's good. Oh.
Turn them off.
I know, sorry, messed you up. Okay, Bold. So Bold starts today. We have a number of agents doing this. So this is a great experience, right? With your mindset and just that accountability to get your business going. It's such a good time to do it right now as we're going into the fall, build up that business. But you know, just a reminder, it's one of those things that it is what you make of it, right? So hold yourself accountable and make sure you're watching all the sessions. They are all recorded, so if you want to watch later, you can do that. They took some feedback from the last session and changed some things. They have more guest speakers, more structured accountability, and more scripts and role plays. So it should be really great. And it's not too late. So if you are interested in joining, still talk to Melanie and she can help get you signed up. But we wish everyone starting this today the best. Okay, now free leads. Okay, we're still doing free lead summer, final month of summer, right? And every week you can do your social media campaign through command. You can do Facebook, Instagram, even Google, whichever you like, but we will reimburse you for $20 every single week. So hopefully y'all are doing that. I know some people are doing it every week.
Yeah, but not many of you guys are taking advantage of this. If you are, please send a picture of your lead or your ad to Heather so you can get that credit and so I can track it.
Yeah, and it's a good opportunity to try different things. You know, I myself was trying different things with Tanya, you know, using the lead form in some, and then maybe not using the lead form, or, you know, doing more pictures, doing more words. So it's your chance to kind of test out different things, different focuses on the demographics that it's going to and the interest of the people, and see what works best for you. So hopefully we'll take advantage of that. And again, just send it to Heather to get your $20. All right, we are so excited to have these 10 new agents who have joined us recently. So yay, welcome to all of these people. If you see them, say hello. Let's see, Magda and Carrie were new to real estate. Lorna and Alex joined the Fox group. Caitlin just joined us this week. That's really exciting. And Josh Sanders joined us about a month ago. And let's see, Carrie is also on the Fox team. Chris Sander, he came over from PPG, so we are very happy to have him. Michelle came over from Berkshire Hathaway. We're excited to have her. And Mary Leathers, she was an agent in the past with us and Bella Casa, and now she is back again. So we are very excited to welcome all of our new agents, and we wish you guys all the best of luck. Please reach out if you need anything to any of us. And all the people that capped last month. So that's an exciting time because then all your paychecks get a lot bigger. So Kim, Alex, Peter, Darcy, Donna, Linda, Mark, and Stephanie. Congratulations on that. Yay! We hope everyone caps throughout the year. So hopefully we're going to keep seeing lots of people up throughout the year. And birthdays this month. So we had Anne Marie and Rita yesterday, and Lacey this week, and then looking forward to the rest of the month. Mike, Alex, Regina, Cam, Nefty, Darcy, Magda, Jennifer, Tracy, and Slavik. And if we don't have your picture, please send it to Austin. We want all of your beautiful faces. We're actually working on hanging them all up in our office because you guys are the most important part of our business. We want, your faces to be front and center. So if you don't have a picture in your KW profile, send one to Austin or Melanie and we can get you updated. But thank you guys. Happy birthday to everyone in August. All right, now let's get to some meat. We have our wonderful friends from Amerispec here. Gordon Tolbert is here to give us an update on what is going on in inspections.
Yeah, hey.
Thanks for joining.
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for coming. Glad to be here again. First office I've been to in 5 months. And which is kind of weird.
We forgot to tell him we're still doing Zoom, so he showed up. We're like, well, hey, we're here.
But the good thing is when you guys come in, I brought a bunch of swag for you. There's new coffee mugs, pads, and pens for you in the
We'll get them.
kitchen.
Love it.
Okay?
Thank you.
Yeah, no candy though.
Oh,
No.
Candy, I ate it all. Anyway, hey, we're going full steam ahead. All of our inspectors are working. The only thing we ask is that people not show up until maybe the last few minutes where we can go over the report with you. And just a quick, here's why. My radon team, Savannah is 7 months pregnant. Rowdy just got through with cancer treatment, so his immune system's compromised. And Joe and Paul are in their late 70s. They're the perfect demographic. My son Patrick's wife has heart failure, and 2 of the inspectors' wives are nurses in a hospital. So we only have one inspector, Rick, who isn't. Yeah. So if we ask you not to show up, there's a good reason. We're not doing it just to be mean to people, okay? So please respect that. But other than that, heck, we've been busier than we've ever been. And a large part is thanks to this office right here. We're doing a lot of work with everybody here, and we appreciate it so much. We can't tell you how much. But we're going to keep going full steam ahead and support you any way that we can. If there's anything we can help you with, please let us know and give me a call or Savannah. That's it. Any questions?
I have a question.
Sure.
Is there anything that you're seeing this summer that might be a new trend, that might be something that we need to watch out for that is emerging?
Nothing, just a severe shortage of homes for sale.
Yeah.
Still, I mean.
So, but the same issues in terms of the inspections, pretty much the same issues.
Yes. Yeah. There's nothing like glaring on the inspection front. It's just pretty much been business as usual, really.
And so if I have a property on the market and I have a magnificent offer that's maybe over list price, maybe even multiple offers, and we accept it, and my owners are super, super thrilled, they think I've done a great job, and then we have the home inspection and we lose the deal, are you still doing pre-inspections?
We are.
So the value of a pre-inspection right now is that we can give our owners a heads up and possibly get started on the issues that could be the deal killers, so
Absolutely.
that when that magnificent offer comes in that makes you a client for life, they remember that we're the agent that said, let's get a pre-inspection so we don't lose that deal when it first comes on the market. Because when you lose the first deal and then you reactivate your house, there is not going to be the same level of enthusiasm because people wonder why it fell through.
Right.
And they're always suspicious naturally.
Right. And I am still available to do the free ones. If you
Okay.
want me to crawl, it's $100.
We don't want you to crawl. We like Patrick. Team
That's-
Schwab loves Patrick.
But yeah, I mean, that is still available, and I'm just waiting for the phone to ring.
Okay.
Get me out of the house, please.
These guys
Thank
do a great job, and even with COVID, they'll still go through all the, the whole report with your buyers just over the phone, right?
Over the phone, Zoom, or a Skype call. Sure.
Great.
We just have to set it up with the inspector, and off we go. Absolutely.
Wonderful. Thank you.
I have 2 questions for you. First, what's the price point typically on a pre-inspection? We haven't done those previously.
Yeah, it just depends on the square footage, Alex, and you know, we're going to give you a little bit of a discount because it's not going to take long. You know, probably you're looking at probably $295 as a start point for a
Okay.
home up to 1,500 square feet, and it'll go up a little bit. If you guys just call me, I'll work with you on it.
Okay, great.
What's the second?
Second question is, are you guys seeing any delamination of hardy plank?
I haven't seen any reports of that come in the homes we've done, and we're doing about 120 inspections a month, but no, we haven't seen any. Are you seeing that out there? Or
Well, yeah, we started to see a couple. My understanding, inspector said when they take the truck, it's a flatbed truck, right? And they dump the siding off,
Mhm.
it hits the ground, and then the flatbed truck starts pulling away. And so as the flatbed truck pulls away, it kind of bends with
Right.
the weight of the siding, right? And so in the middle of the boards, apparently, I was curious if you've seen any starting to delaminate.
Yeah, no, we have not, Alex, but I will ask my people and see if they have seen any. We've had no reports, but I'll let you know, or at least I'll
Okay.
let you know, or
Yeah,
the boss.
yeah, it would be good to know.
Okay.
Avoid another LP situation. So cool.
I'd be happy
Thank
to
you.
do that.
I have a question for Dwight really quick, if I may.
Yes, you may.
Hi, Dwight. Going back to your pre-inspections, I'm curious, do sellers or potential buyers, would be on the buyer's end, is that ever a cause for concern about the results of those inspections if they've been provided by the seller in terms of conflict of interest? Do they look at that with any added layer of skepticism in terms of the results of a pre-inspection?
Well, what happens is, because we've done a lot of pre-inspections over the years, and now is the time to consider it when we get multiple offers and people are in the craze mode right now. What happens is you're alerted to things that are wrong with the home. And the trick is you don't have to repair everything, but you would want to repair things like mold in the attic, water in the crawl space, infestations of termites, dry rot, any sort of electrical panel issues, life and death sort of things. If you get the pre-inspection and you're notified of that, and then you don't take steps to correct it, then if a buyer comes along because you just put it on the market, they're going to wonder what kind of sellers you have. I will tell you that because I've run into that. So the goal is you don't have to have these things done, but having them scheduled and having bids for them and then being able to share with the buyer that this will help keep a deal together. So there's no conflict of interest. You just have to report your findings to the buyer. You agree?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, if I could make a quick statement, I would just simply say that report does not take the place of buyer's due diligence. I think the buyer still needs a home inspection for themselves, but this is a pre-step that puts the seller and the house in the above condition that people will want to max out the value in it and let them get ahead of the issue. So it's an excellent tool. Just make sure you continue to protect your client, and they know if they're accepting somebody else's report that it is somebody else's report.
Yeah, that's a good point, Mike. So let me clarify that if I'm representing a buyer and I get that report, it's just one additional report. We're still going to do all of our own testing, all of our own inspections, etc. If I'm representing a seller, I know that I'm going to hand that to a buyer and they're going to say, thanks, which ones of these things have you taken care of? And they're still going to get all their inspections. That's the reality of it. And we have to ensure as realtors that that's the case.
Okay.
So I will tell you that I did have a home in West Lynn, and we were struggling to sell it. And they said to me, what can we do to ensure that when we finally get an acceptable offer, we don't lose it? And I said, let's do a pre-inspection. And in the pre-inspection, they had radon, sewer, and mold. It was like, holy cow. I never would have kept the final deal together had I not done that in advance. And so we got started fixing all of those, and an offer came in and we kept it together. So
Okay, thank you.
That's good advice. Good story. And just remember that Amerispec is our partner. When everyone comes into the office, those of you who have come, they regularly sit here and have office space here. So Gordon and Patrick are great if you have any weird random questions about houses or items or things that came back that you saw. So, I would sometimes text even Patrick a picture. What's this? Is this, So these guys are great, and they can be our resource. Hopefully you guys should do some classes again. We have some newer agents joining.
I was talking to Melanie about that.
Great.
On the book. Yeah, we'll probably just do a Zoom call, but
Right.
happy to do it.
Virtual class. But their classes are great on just home issues, things that people might not be aware of. So thank you, Gordon, for joining us today.
You're welcome.
So it's August. Thank you, see ya. It's August. We have less than 5 months left of the year. And December, if you sell stuff in December, and most likely it'll go for 2021. So let's call it 4 months left of 2020 to sell stuff, right? So what are we all doing now to make sure we meet our year-end goals and protect our business for the future, right? There is uncertainty in our future, and you can either look at that as like a doom and gloom might be coming, or you can look at that as, okay, what am I doing to ensure that I'm going to continue to be successful, meet my monetary goals, meet my sales goals, set myself up for success, not just to finish this year, but move into the year ahead. So today I want to kind of make this a conversation that anyone can chime in, and this, so please feel free to ask questions, share. But I want to hear from some of our agents who have been around for a while, maybe been through recessions and downturns, and just talking about how you adapt your business and what you can kind of do. So Alex, you want to share anything good with us? You look so professional in that headset.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. So yeah, I feel really fortunate to have come from the background that Peter taught me. And if you guys don't know Peter, he's one of the partners here at the office, and he had developed a business working with builders and developers in the early 2000s. And that's essentially all we were doing. And then 2008 hit, and that was, as everybody probably remembers, quite a traumatic experience for all of us, but in particularly our team, because all of our clients went bankrupt. And they went bankrupt because they were over leveraged, and they had debt, crazy amounts of debt, and they couldn't afford the payments. And so I think one of the really important things for really everybody to do is make sure you have a strong foundation built for your business, right? So try and get out of debt, get a war chest built up, in reserves built up, emergency fund, if you will, not only personally, but for your business. As an example, we have, it's just kind of a family practice, and then our business practice, we have 6-month emergency funds built up. And that's personal, and then on the business side too. So if you don't have that, you need to be working towards that. As far as the business goes, what we're doing to try and leverage the market currently is obviously go out and get listings. Everybody needs more listings. And so we're making every effort that we can to create wow moments for our sellers. And when they say wow, or gosh, we're so thankful for you, or whatever, we ask for a referral right then and there. So whenever we have good news to share, you ask for a referral.
That's great. I love all the foundation and the expenses, and making sure that if you have that groundwork in, you'll be set. And then just to throw that out there, halfway through the year, Alex and the Clark team were one of our 3 agents on the top 50 agents in Portland. So just throwing that out there. Good job, Alex.
Thank you.
Mark,
Team effort.
Yeah, Mark and Darabol were also on there, but great job. That's exciting.
By a lot more, I might add.
No, we're just counting 3. All 3 of those. Thank you, Alex.
Yeah.
Cricket, you have been with us for what, 13 years? So, 15, 20? Yeah. 10? I think you're around that, right? Tell us. And share your wisdom of how do you get through the ups and downs?
You're muted.
Hi guys.
Hi. Wait, how many years?
2007 I joined Keller.
13. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So my words of wisdom, 2020 has been, actually been a really, really good year for many of us, and I'm a happy participant of that. As I'm gearing up for the second half of the year to continue that, I've gone back and really figured out where my business is coming from, and then doubling down on that. So investing more of my marketing dollars in that where I'm getting. And then and every year is a little different, then I realize where the business is not coming from this year, and then invest where it's coming from before and investing in that as well. So I'm just looking to see, where am I successful? All right, and what am I doing that's making that successful? Where am I not successful? And re-energizing and figuring out why I'm not, why I might be missing. So the triangle of leads, listings, and leverage. Leads, listings, and leverage.
Right. If you don't know what that's from, come stop by my office. But you know, even over the years and in different markets, right, the fundamental things of focusing on your leads, listings, and leverage are still important. And Cricket brought up such a good point, because she knows her numbers so well, right? She's looking at her marketing and she knows that ROI. A lot of you might not even know the ROI on some of your marketing dollars that you spend. So taking a look at that. And then Cricket also knows her numbers of exactly where she's at, you know, where her business came from, where she should focus on. So that knowing your numbers and your business is really important. So it's a good time, if you are not looking at your business that closely, to look first at your business now and see what's been going on.
Can I let you know that Command does that for you if you utilize it for your contacts properly? It tracks everything, where your sources are, where your income is, where your conversion rates are. Every single bit of the tracking you need for our business is right there inside of Command, and it's automated.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good to know.
And I would add that in our free lead summer, if you're paying attention to your ROI, what is the ROI when we pay for the lead? That's a good math question. When the cost is 0 and you get to close it and get all the money, what is the ROI? 100%.
Yeah. I don't know if Bradley's on, but I know he's been getting tons of leads, and not just leads from, you know, I think he got like 80 something leads, but 8 of them are legit buyers that he's gotten. So that is a really cool number, right? You know, that they're good leads that are turning into something. So,
and that's because he uses the Twilio and the Smart Plans that does the automatic text messaging. And he said once he did that, that changed his results completely. So doing that is really key. And you don't have to use Twilio if you're the one doing the text manually, but setting them on that Smart Plan and using the Smart Plans that I've been providing, it's the conversation that's happening within that's making it an easier lead to receive.
nice. If you need help on that, see Tanya or go to one of her classes. She's always having classes on Command. So they're great. And even if you rewatch them and pause them and kind of follow along, she does a really good job of showing all of the features that people might not be using in Command. Or it might make you think, oh, okay, I wasn't putting in that source info, but maybe now I will, so I can track that easier. So thank you, Cricket. Linda, do you have any words of wisdom to share with us? Oh, you're on mute. Linda, you're still on mute.
Austin, can you unmute her?
There we go.
I got it. Sorry. I was trying not to make noise back here. You know, I'm doing much the same thing. I mean, I'm trying to focus on listings, obviously. It's, you know, it's hard to keep up with the buyers when you have a lot going on. And I do a business plan every year that I update, but I actually, the last couple of years, have been updating it at least semi-annually. And, you know, depending on what's going on, maybe even quarterly. I am using the Smart Plans with the Twilio. So I haven't, you know, hit anything there, but I kind of view those as longer term leads. And the automation is exactly what I need to be able to keep those people sort of in the background and engaged a little bit. But yeah, just, you know, kind of focusing on where the business is coming from and, you know, trying to get more business in that direction.
Will you tell us a little bit more about your business planning? Like, when do you typically do that for the upcoming year? How detailed are you getting? Because not all agents are doing that.
It's pretty basic. I mean, you know, I probably have, you know, it might end up being a 2-page, 3-page plan. And I do it almost always, you know, end of December, January, kind of when I have a little bit of downtime. And I try and look at, I mean, one thing, you know, like Cricut, I'm going back and I'm looking at where that business is coming from. And for me, you know, I always had a little piece of my business came from open houses. And so this year, I'm not getting that. You know, I'm not doing a ton of open houses and not, you know, really picking up clients that way. So it has to shift a little bit, the focus. And, you know, I just try and identify, you know, what my goals are for the year, how I'm going to get there, what my challenges are with me at the top. And then just, you know, try and work that plan, but it always changes. There's just no way to, in my opinion, to start a plan and just have it play out exactly as you think it's going to play out. It's just, we're in such a dynamic, not just this year, but every year, such a dynamic market that we have to constantly be changing the plan.
Thank you. Yeah, that's great advice. So, you know, plan ahead, make your plan, but then don't be afraid to be adaptable when things change. Do you do a business plan?
Not
Sorry, I didn't mean to.
this year. Not really. Had too many other things to deal with.
Yeah.
I've always had goals in my mind of the number of transactions that I've wanted to do, and I track it through the year. But I'm not the best person. I'm not as disciplined as Peter, let's say, who has regular meetings. Would you agree, Alex, of tracking your production? I've been in the business a long time, and I know that if I fall behind in my production in the first 3 months, I can still exceed my goal in the last 3 months. And there are other things, as Linda just said, that can affect your productivity. So you just have to track it, and you have to make adjustments, and just always be refocusing on what things you need to do that will make you money, like people are already saying.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree, Dwight. One of the other things out of the box kind of thinking is we tell our clients this all the time, or at least lately, but I'm not sure agents are looking at it themselves. I just got done refinancing our primary residence, and we dropped our rate from 3.6 to 2.5. And it's going to save over the next decade or so about $51,000 of interest. It's a big commission check. So if you haven't looked at refinancing, it might be a good idea if you have a mortgage.
So let me just share my thought on that too. And I've gone over this in my Making the Millionaire series that I've done for the office. When we're in a great market like this, and you're probably making more money than you would normally need to have a comfortable life with your family, if you can refinance and take some of that extra commission cash and buy your rate down, what that does is it's preparing you for the recession, right, Alex? So did you have to pay some buy down money to get 2.5?
No, I didn't. We shortened the term from 30-year to 20-year, and the payment went up like $10 or whatever.
So the longer term goal is, in terms of creating a wealth, you're saving tens of thousands and thousands of dollars worth of interest, and that money can go into some other investment that will actually grow.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah. So what I did though over the years of my career was I took extra cash flow, bought the rate down so that my monthly operating costs were absolutely minimal. And then I took that extra cash and made investments. So this is the time to do that. We're at historic low rates. And if you had extra money and you were able to refinance and buy your rate down, as long as you're going to stay in your property for 5 years or longer, that's one way to prepare for a recession.
Absolutely. It's all about the net, essentially, right? It's income minus expense equals net. And if you have low cost of living and you live within your means, it's, even when times get tough, it's a lot easier to make those payments. So now's a great time to be thinking about it. If you haven't looked, I know you're telling your clients, but if you haven't looked, might be a good idea.
I just want to add that I referred a client to the Keller Mortgage, and he got a 2.62 30-year loan, which is hands down the best rate I have ever seen anywhere. So they're kind of killing it rate wise. And
did he have to buy it down?
Is amazing.
Did he have to buy it down at all? Do you know?
No buy down, no cost, $1,000 back. I mean, he's like the poster boy for great rate as far as I'm concerned. I tell my other clients that, and I mean, there's probably about 4 or 5 people right now, including myself, who's looking at a refi with them because, the rates are just amazing.
So along those lines, I have what I consider a client for life. And when the rates got down to 3, I called him and I said, I think you should be refinancing right now. We sold him a home about 5 years ago. And he said, as a matter of fact, he's within a year or 2 of retiring. And so just in talking to him, I suggested to him that if he refinanced right now, he could lower his rate by like 1.25%, and they could pay off every single debt that he told me they had on the phone. All of the private debt on the phone would go away, and his payment would go down, and get him ready for retirement.
And he probably was really appreciative of that advice, I would imagine.
Well, what was amazing was he hadn't really thought about it. They never were in that mindset that you would take, equity from your house and consolidate all of your loans to prepare for retirement. And when they did the math, he called me back and said, that's exactly what we're going to do. So.
Yeah, those are all great tips of not just staying organized on your business expenses, but your personal too, because again, not to be doom and gloom, but you just want to be prepared for the future. And Peter, I know you're driving, but will you unmute and tell your story of 2008, 2007? Don't crash. Oh wait, you're on mute. Austin, can you unmute Peter?
Austin, you unmuted me.
Oh, the other Clark.
I may look like Peter.
The other Clark.
Unmute.
Oh,
There you go.
okay, yay.
Good job.
I've told this story often, but basically, Alex and I were primarily doing projects, condo conversions in the early 2000s. Did 975 of them actually. But in 2007, we booked around $34 million in condo sales. In 2008, our total volume as a team was 8 million. So we kind of took a hit because the condo market died. 2009 forecast, the last slide that whoever was doing did put up a slide and said condos dead until further notice. So Alex figured out that the crash was actually personally my fault. I was responsible for it. Is that right, Alex?
Still to this day.
And he got a little frustrated with me and how we were doing business. So he picked up this book. I think it's a red book. It's called, written by some guy named Gary Keller. And he started following the models and making the calls and doing the deeds. And by 2010, my son was contributing 50% of the leads to the business, and I had no choice but to make him my full partner. And Alex can probably tell the story better, but if anybody is struggling, Keller Williams and this guy named Gary Keller developed a model that works. Is that the story you wanted?
Yeah, that's a great one.
Well, and I
Of a lot of things. One, right, you can't predict what's going to happen, the next day, but then the good old hard work and getting back to business is what lifted you guys out of that.
And if I could add, the red book was helpful, but really what got me excited and motivated in leadership, if you can talk to KW International, whatever, bring this back, the class 36-12-3. That class was mind altering for me, that you could have 36 transactions in 12 months with 3 hours a day of work. And I follow, Tom May taught it, I'll never forget, back in the old building, and it changed our life. So if you can get KW to bring back 36-12-3, that was a fantastic course.
That's great to know. And, different people have that different thing that just really motivates them at the core, right? So some of our agents are doing bold now, and it might be just that one little thing that you hear that just makes you be like, wow, right? Like that makes it click. So that's great. A lot of you guys who have shared so far today, I asked a couple of our agents who are more experienced, I said, will you share some things that you're doing, to get ready for the rest of the year? And all of them, Linda, Cricket, Alex, Peter, everyone said, I'm not doing anything special, And I'm like, but you are, right? So sometimes it doesn't have to be anything, really out of the box, but just doing the work, staying in touch with your clients, looking at your numbers, all of that. So it was just funny that, you all said almost the same thing of, oh no, I don't do anything different. I'm, chugging along, but you are. Robin or Beth or any of our other agents, does anyone have anything else to add or anything that they're doing? Oh, Peter, please share. Uh-oh.
Cutting out, Peter.
Cutting out, Peter. Don't drive so fast.
Okay, we'll come back to Peter. But does anyone, have anything to share, that things that they're working on or focusing on for the rest of the year?
But
oh, back to Peter. No. Peter, try again. Oh no, he's out of here. Okay.
I'm out in the country.
Okay. Peter does a lot of farmland in the country. Okay, does anyone else have anything else to share that they're doing or tips to be successful?
I want to share one thing that I'm back. I've been off video because I'm listening and cleaning my kitchen at the same time. I love this Zoom. I can multitask. The one thing that I think was maybe for people who don't have money or budget friendly, the hard thing for me was to be okay spending money. So using the programs that are free with the Keller Williams are great, but when you put a business plan together is to budget for marketing, and that was struggle for me for a long time to be okay spending money to make money. So if you just, like I budget 5% of every commission check goes into marketing budget. My max coach will tell me, you're not spending enough, Cricket. And so I'm trying to spend more, but just maybe make a budget for marketing and spend it. It'd be something.
That's great advice. I know a lot of agents have a hard time, you know, you work hard and you're so at the beginning of your career, then, you know, how do you get to that place? What did you find at that point when you first started putting more money towards marketing? What was the first thing you spent money on?
First thing Sphere, marketing for my Sphere. I had these postcards that I would send out every month, and more direct mail type stuff.
Great, thank you. Beth, what were you gonna say?
Well, I think that it's really important that when we do get clients that we up our game in terms of customer service. And I picked up a buyer this week because they'd been working with somebody for a while, and what that agent, a very experienced agent in our market, said was, well, go look on Zillow, and you know, there's not much available, but if you see anything that you like, call me and I'll show it to you. And I happened to be in line at the coffee shop, saw one of my customers, and we were chatting, and she said, you always send us such interesting things. And so I left with my coffee, and this guy followed me out, which in the days of COVID is not comfortable. And he said, can I talk to you for a minute? And so chat. And he said, this is what my agent told me. How do you work? And when I kind of picked my jaw up off of the ground, I said, well, no, I don't work that way. I actively look for properties for you. And are you pre-approved? And no, he wasn't. And so he's a $650,000 customer. And I didn't do anything but buy a cup of coffee and talk to my customer to find out that he was treated poorly. So I think all these other things are important too, but when we do get a buyer or we do get a seller, they have to become like gold to us now, because referrals are more important than ever. So that's my
great tip.
tip.
That's a great tip. You know, to take care of the business you have, right? You can't be so focused on the next deal that you forget about the customers you have. Laura, I love that you applauded that. Do you want to add anything to that or anything else?
So Gal, last night I was watering my garden, and one of the neighbors walked by, and haven't really talked to her in depth over the last years she's been here, but we got talking, and it turns out that her agent moved away recently, and I said, oh great, now we can be your new agent. And she goes, yes, you can. So now I picked up another new seller for the future, and a new cheerleader. I'll be giving her one of our wonderful magazines today and putting that in her mailbox, and then we're going to get together. We found out we had a lot in common. You just never know. Just, you know, talking to people, saying hello.
I love that, right? When you get that business just organically talking with people, it's so rewarding too, right? And you're making real connections with people. So that is a great tip. One thing that hasn't come up yet, that is something that, you know, we won't go into too deep on this call because it doesn't apply to everyone, but for those of you with children, myself included, right? You have to be thinking, what happens in the fall, right? What happens for the rest of the school year? When are you going to be a full-time teacher at home when the kids are still at home? Are you going to, you know, some people are doing, you know, things with their neighbors and alternating one day a week. Thank goodness my nanny has been still coming to work all of COVID. So I have that covered. But if you don't have that, then maybe that means looking for a nanny for even, you know, half days to make sure your kids are taken care of. So I think that when it was kind of a temporary thing, childcare and figuring out your kids, even if you have older kids, what they're going to be doing in schoolwork, was kind of a temporary problem. But now, you know, looking forward, you know, right now, kids aren't going back to, you know, school tentatively until November, but I mean, who knows what will happen then. So just something important to think about. We might have maybe a mastermind or some idea sharing around that for people that is applicable to, but just something that didn't come up that it is probably important for a lot of you guys to think about for the end of the year of at least, do you have a plan?
We could, as an office, hire a teacher and have all the kids come and do school in the training room.
That is an
Right.
idea. That's an idea.
We'd have to, unfortunately.
I know.
I would offer this though, and one of the reasons we're talking about this is because obviously there's a few trends that are happening that probably portend a difficult market this winter. And so if you think about what's happening right now, for those of you that have been on the calls where I've shown you the Altos reports of solds, and we see that big wave where we have maximum sales in the summer and minimum sales in the winter. We know historically that Portland is very seasonal. No matter what happens, we know we're seasonal. So imagine a scenario where our inventory in Portland is at a month and a half and rates are dropping down. Just listen to what Linda just said with her client refinancing at 2 5/8 on a 30-year. And we go into the winter where we have less people coming on the market, fewer people coming on the market, fewer listings, and then add potentially a resurgence of COVID concerns. What's that going to look like in terms of availability of houses to sell between November and February? What's that going to look like if all of those play on each other? And so if I'm planning a real estate business right now, I'm thinking that has a pretty high probability of happening, probably in the 70% range. And so what can I do to be focusing on getting listings that are saleable? They're gold bars. They are nearly 100% chance of converting to cash dollars. What can I do in my business to be getting listings going into the winter? That should be the number one focus of everyone in this office, because we could see less than a month's supply easily by December. And if that happens, then what's our business going to look like? What's your business going to look like? How easy will it be for you to get your buyers to enter the market when there's really not that much to look at, or nothing new is coming on the market? So imagine that scenario. There should be some urgency for all of us about getting ready for this winter. And so anyway, that's why we're having this conversation right now. So think about it. Think about what you can do to prepare for it. We had some really, really good points on the call today about not only thinking about your sales, but considering how you can eliminate lower your budget, lower your expenses, right? Like Alex was talking about, and get ready for what could be a challenging market from the standpoint of not enough inventory to sell.
Yeah.
It happened in 1986 and 1987. I don't know if Peter remembers back then, but the controlling element of your business was the number of homes we could sell, not how good you were. Just there weren't a lot of homes to sell.
Yeah.
So anyway, keep that in mind. That's why we're talking about this right now, so that people can be planning for it.
Right, and get ahead of it. I heard a really good quote that said, do you want to be part of the growth, or do you want to be part of the statistics, right? And not in like not in a doom and gloom way, but there's a lot of business still to be had, right? You know, it's still out there. So if you focus on doing the right things now and your growth, you'll power through any market.
That
right?
you'll power through it. We have to get our unfair share of the listings right now.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for everyone who contributed today. And we hope everyone has a great week, and we will see you here next week. Thank you.
Thank you.